Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mnvl Week 2 action. I'm your host, Skeptor, and joining me for their Mnvl debut on the cast, Moonsum. Welcome, my friend. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Moonsum. I've been in MVL or MNVL for 4 seasons now. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, man. We are excited to have you. It's going to be fun. We have 2 games on the docket for you guys today. We have SLP taking on Edina in our first matchup, and then in our second game later, we will have Chaska taking on Central. So, just to get into what it's looking like, we got Edina. I'll let you handle what Edina is about to kick it off here.
Yeah, so as we saw last season in spring, they were the final champions. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform this season, whether or not they are still up to that standard. And because the reason I'm saying this is because we might have a potential roster change. So it'll be interesting to look at that and see how their gameplay is different.
Yeah, I think we had some seniors on that Edina Rocket League team. I'm not 100% positive on that note, but if roster changes happen after that team won that championship, it definitely throws into question, is this that same championship pedigree capability like roster, right? Like, are they still going to be capable of managing those things that their previous teammates and classmates accomplished? So something to think about. Now, on the other hand, this SLP roster, there's some veterans on this roster, man. We've seen countless iterations of the SLP Rocket League roster, famously hosting the Maniac Oakwind duo of a century. You're not going to see anything like it now. One of the production goats on the back end. We still get to hear him and get to be graced by the presence of him. Unfortunately, you guys don't get to see him on the server anymore. But, from that to players like, man, give me some other players, Nate. Who are some of the other sick players that we've seen throughout SLP? King Jake, obviously. Yup, legend. Cloudy and Usher were something. Maybe not the most well-behaved, but definitely memorable players nonetheless. Okay? Yeah. I know.
If you've got players who are memorable, it doesn't necessarily have to be for good reasons.
It's not always for the best reasons that you remember these players, but you remember them. That's the point of it. I know an SLP is storied program, right? A second place a while ago and at least 1 third place medal under their belt in the Rocket League category. So definitely a storied program. Both of these schools having medals in the game. So now, this is a grudge match, man. I used to play against Edina growing up in hockey. We used to get absolutely barbecued by these guys. They are without a doubt the best hockey school in the state, dude. I don't know how they do it. Just unbelievable how much talent they have. It's not even fair. But back to Rocket League, okay? This isn't the ice rink. There's similarities here, Moonsum, but it's 3-on-3. Okay, we're in little cars. We're not on skates with sticks and a little puck. It's a giant ball. In our cars, they have the ability to fly. Okay? We fuel up with the turbo on the corners and in the middle. You can see it. The big boosts fills the tanks up to full. All the little pads give you about 25, I think.
That's right.
Best of 5s is how we roll here at MNVL Rocket League. We are getting this show underway, folks. We appreciate you being here. And without further ado, let's kick it off. St. Louis Park, Edina. Blue squad for SLP, red squad for Edina. Opening kickoff.
Going back to what you said earlier, Scout, about boost and everything. One of the most important parts of this game is boost management and making sure that you have boost for key and crucial moments like that, where you have to make some game-saving plays.
Yeah. Absolutely. Early chance for Edina. Not much follow-up off the back of that scoring opportunity. Abe trying to step up here into the play, keeping it in the Edina zone. Water now gathering in the corner, setting himself up nicely. This could play out. Water going end to end, just going to drop that one into the opposition's net. Well, Water, nice to see ya. This has got to be one of the returning players. I mean, I'm going to say it now. I'm willing to put money on it.
Yeah, Skip. I'll tell you this much. Aerials like that are not something that you practice easy. It takes a lot of hours and a lot of gameplay and a lot of experience to be able to play and know how to control your guard as well as that.
Yeah, I mean, he had perfect control of the ball the entire way there. Passed all the defenders, finished it with ease. So definitely going to see how St. Louis Park defense can hold up against that aerial play from Water. Because on that first scoring opportunity, I mean, he capitalized.
Yep. Sure did. And then...
Ooh, that's a freebie. Ooh. Nice step up from Kadar. Going to put that one home. St. Louis Park a little bit slow on clearing this one out of harm's way there, Moonsum.
Sure is. And once again, we see time and time again, boost is a critical part in whether or not balls make goals. And one of the hardest parts about it is with aerials, like we saw earlier from Water, the only real way you can stop those is with boost. So if you get the other team caught with their pants down and not having any boost, that can be detrimental to the team.
Absolutely.
It seems like...
Boost control has been in Edina's favor. Another aerial score from up top coming through here from Moonsum. Or, sorry. Moonsum. Another aerial goal from Water, that is. Dude, I mean, what's the answer here? What does the defense got to do differently?
Like we've been saying, Skep, St. Louis needs to start countering this aerial play with their own aerials. The only way that they're going to stop these aerials from making into the goals is if they can get in between the goal and the ball. And to do that, especially when the... Ooh, good defense
close opportunity.
From St. Louis.
St. Louis Park has been trapped in their zone for a majority of this game. It's feeling like having a hard time getting this ball cleared. Abe now not able to find it. Another scoring chance. Gonna go wide for the time being.
One thing I'm noticing, Skep, is it seems like there is a clear player difference in skill and capacity and how well they control their cards. So what this tells me is there might be a potential for St. Louis to try to capitalize on what Edina is maybe missing out on as far as... Ooh, explosion there.
Good demolition.
Yeah.
St. Louis Park's just got to get this offense going. I haven't seen enough scoring chances coming out of them yet. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here in game number 1. Water now back up off the back wall to himself. Rebound is there, and Sharosity is going to put that one away. Edina now up 4-0.
Going back to what you said earlier, Scout. Yeah, their defense has been doing as best of a job as they can, but Edina's defense has been the offensive mindset, where the best defense is offense. And it seems to be working quite well. A 4 scoring is not something you want to see as the team in behind.
And something to note here, earlier on, the rosters ended up having one player swap out on the SLP side, so Tajer not being in the lineup subbed out for Blade Hulking. So we'll see if that ends up getting changed around after a game like this. But right now, Water is styling on them. 5-0 lead Edina. This one's getting ugly.
Yes, it is, Cap. So where we're at right now, it seems like St. Louis is in quite the predicament. This is kind of a hard score to come back from. But moving forward, if St. Louis can turn other games around and start taking control of other games after this, because we do best of 5, right?
Yep, correct.
Yep. So if they can start taking control of other games early, they might have a chance to stay in this competition.
SLP has just been getting manhandled in their own zone, though, and with minimal scoring opportunities coming on the back end for themselves. So realistically, this one's feeling quite doomed. As I say that, Abe's going to tuck one. I'm glad I cursed that one. I'll take that. SLP needed something You know I'm spicing it up with the jinx of my own, all right? Doing whatever I can to give you guys a show. Anyways,
Going back to it.
down 4 goals, dude, with a minute 10 to play roughly. It's not realistic to say that SLP is going to come back given what we've seen throughout this game. Just not enough scoring opportunities coming from the SLP camp. So I got to see more offense. I got to see more go in this game number 2 here.
Oh, there it is.
Good save, though.
Yep. Blade goes in for an aerial save. Hits. Whoop, demolition.
Ooh, demoed. And that's just that aggression from Edina, dude. They're always on the boost. They're always on the turbo. And, I mean, they're playing aggressive, right?
Right. And another thing, Skep, is I noticed a lot of players starting to drift their cars a lot. That's not something you do by accident. That has to be done with intent. Because if you drift just because, you'll end up catching yourself off guard because drifting, while it is good for movement and sudden turns, can be detrimental to the total speed you accumulate.
Yeah, depending on how comfortable you are on the sticks, you can definitely get caught out of position. A little bit too much Tokyo drifting. We'll see, dude. Water has shown already that he's a level above what is offered on the counter hand. No disrespect to SLP. That's Brazil in the chat. Anybody wants to drop a Brazil in chat, I'm all for it. But anyways, dude, I mean, yeah. Look, every time Water goes downfield on a scoring opportunity, he's finding the back of the goal. So as it currently stands, nobody having I guess I don't even know how you want to say it, the aerial prowess that Water is bringing to the table.
Right, you are about that. Going back to the state finals from last season, spring season, I can look at it here, but was Water on the team when they went to finals? Because the skills that he's demonstrating here reflect those of a finals champion.
I think we were looking into that. I'm not 100% sure on the result. My guess would be yes. This kid is got it 100%. I mean, he had 8 shots, 3 demos, a save, an assist, and 4 goals. I mean, literally every stat line that you can have in the game, this kid's got it. And in most stat scenarios, multiple. So that tells me that Water, he's got the carry pants on.
Yep.
No flame to the other players. Both players played great supporting roles, but that's just the way it is sometimes, right? Sometimes you got a guy who's a cut above, and Water is that dude. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled as if SLP is going to have any shot at shutting down what Water is bringing to the table, and the rest of this Edina Hornets squad up 1-0 to start out this best of 5. SLP got to gather themselves quickly, only about a minute-ish or so between games here. So we're going to be getting right back into it.
Moving forward, Skep, one thing I noticed, like you were saying, Water seems to be playing really well today and bringing a lot to the table. If SLP wants to make a comeback, a good way to start that would be trying to shut down Water and make sure he doesn't get into position to go for those aerials he's been making so many times to yet.
Yeah, I think they got to pressure him sooner, right? The second Water takes off, it's kind of too late because you've already shown that you can't really match what he brings in terms of the aerial play.
Which is why shutting him down.
Yep, you got to get him on the ground, 100%. It's the Michael Jordan rule. You got to get him before he takes off, because by the time he's in the air, it's too late. I'm a sports geek. What can I say?
Yeah, it's almost like there's a reason why you're doing it.
Built for this.
Yeah.
Water, Rocket League, he's going to score, and I mean, this one wasn't even an impressive one, bro. That's the last time he touched it right there. Right in front of his own goal, and it just bounced all the way down the field. Yeah.
What happened there, Skep? Do you think that SLP ran out of boost there? Do you think that
I think the aura that Water possesses is too strong if we want to get hip with the times.
Water going for another aerial but
Yeah, bro, he's
SLP shuts
dangerous.
it down while it bounces down on the ground. Very good positioning on SLP part, because when the ball is only touching the ground for a few seconds before it goes into the goal, you need to capitalize on that, especially if you're not able to match players like Water's ability to be in the air so much.
Here's Water, dude. That's 3 resets. Going for a 4th! It's a floater! Oh my goodness, teammate came through for the help. It doesn't actually go. What a scoring chance for Edina. Water's having a day. And he's playing with his food, Moonsum.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. That being said, though, as of right now, the game's still at 1-0 in favor
Factual.
of Edina. So, while yes...
Gotta be careful.
Yeah. Well, yes, it is a little bit of a... While it is a little bit of a opposing force that SLP is going after and trying to match, right now the game is still...
Nice save
good.
from Blitz. Nice scoring chance off the crossbar. Second chance, not going to come through. Good clear out from SLP.
SLP
I mean, this is too
fighting
close
like
for
dogs.
comfort right now. Water
Yep.
finally
there
going to
is.
net it. And if you give Edina this amount of chances in and around your goal, you are surely going to bite the bullet on it. And they make them pay. 2-0 lead the Wave Edina. 3 minutes, 12 seconds on the clock here. 1-0 series lead for the likes of Edina. I mean, this team's on it right now.
Ooh, Edina goes for a shot off of mid. Ball returned back to Edina's side of the field. And it looks like Water is getting ready for another goal. Shut down by SLP, luckily for them. But
Water's
back
on
in the air.
full aggression too, Moonsum. You got to be careful. He's not even playing defense anymore. Was playing defense earlier in that first game, but right now it seems like all lights are green and go.
That being said, there's Skep. Rocket League isn't like your normal game. There isn't necessarily a defined defense and offense position because the goal is so short and because your cars can get up to certain speeds that can get you on one side of the field in a few seconds. Offense and defense start to blur between.
Oh, surely there's rotations.
100%.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's just that confidence coming through from Water, showing that he's
Right.
got it in him. He's chasing goals now.
And you can tell that Water's played a lot of this game, both resets on aerials and also just knowing game sense and when, where to be when, and when to be when.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Good hit by Strosky.
Yeah.
Getting the...
A little bit of an old goal.
Yep.
It looked like Abe trying to kick it out. Didn't get the clear that he wanted. 3-0 lead now, the Wave Edina. A minute 58 on the clock. Running out of time for the SLP side of things. But I'm not sure what the game plan is here now for Edina. Or for SLP, rather. Caught between an unstoppable force, dude, of Edina. The offense is never ending, it feels like. SLP are kind of getting suffocated in their own zone.
And going back into it, like we've talked about before, offense really is a great defense in games like Rocket League and Minecraft, because if you don't give your opponents time to formulate a plan and just keep coming at them, it gets a lot harder for them to coordinate, and in a team-based game, really opens up opportunity for plays like Water's been making so far in this game.
Yeah, I think SLP, we needed to see a little bit more out of them in this second game here. Still not seeing enough of that. Just go, right? Edina are still getting time and space to set up, make plays. And it goes a good chunk of seconds before they truly get contested. And that's, I think, what's allowing them to have such golden opportunities or setups here. It's feeling like, Moonsum.
Yep, as you say that though, Bitso and Blaze did manage to shut down a potential shot on goal by Edina. They've been fighting to keep the ball back in Edina's side of the court, but it appears that they're doing a good job keeping pressure on Edina now that you mentioned that. That being said, Water's going for an aerial. Goes back
Inches
on
it down.
the ground.
Tried to drop it over to one of his teammates. Not going to find the play for the time being. Kadar gets up. Not going to find anything home. Shot off the post. Not quite going to land. Now back into the corner. Kadar. Good opportunities. Edina going to find another victory here in game number 2 as time winds down. 10 seconds and closing. SLP still failing to really spark plug that offense and get the ball rolling. So I'm really waiting to see, are they going to have anything left in them to really get things going in game number 3, or is this just a whitewash here?
Oh, talk about the nail in the coffin too.
Yeah,
Water goes
and
in
Water,
overtime.
Another one too.
Put the score
Yikes.
5-0.
5-0. Flawless for the side of Edina. Well played. Edina up big. Goal difference is like what? Did they get 8 or 7 on the first game?
I believe 7 and 1 or 2.
No, 1 for SLP. No bueno.
So what is that goal difference? 11 shots?
That is
11 goals?
12-1. 12-1 in goals so far.
Oof.
Yeah, the shot count. Okay, shot count is at least a little bit better. Everybody coming out with shots for the side of SLP. Game 1, that was not there. So at least, trying to kick up that offense a little bit, but still just not enough, right? With the amount of opportunities that we're seeing Edina create, there's just got to be more offense produced and generated, right? We're just not getting enough. So unless that can get evened out, I don't see a way that SLP is going to be able to battle back into this as it currently stands.
Well, yeah,
Edina just has too much offense.
Yeah. One thing I have been noticing, though, to counter that point, is SLP seems like they've been adapting a little bit more that second game than they did the first game. They're starting to feel out what Edina's starting to play. And as you noticed in certain situations in the second game, SLP was a lot more adamant about shutting down those plays before they were able to be made. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going and start building that momentum back up again for SLP as they inch into the third game.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see good things here, but as of these first 2 games, Edina handedly showing that they are the team to beat in this series as it stands, up 2-0 and looking to close out in a 3-0 fashion, I would presume.
You never know, Skip. While yes, Edina is a pretty formidable team, a lot can happen in the span of 5 minutes. And if SLP really plays the cards right, they could potentially still stay in the game for another.
I'm down for it, man. I'm always open for mixing it up.
Yeah, the underdog story, while it is used quite a lot, it's a classic one, and a lot of people continue to enjoy hearing about it.
I mean, you can't beat it. When it happens, it's a special moment. It's not supposed to happen. That's the whole point of it, right?
Right.
It's not supposed to happen.
Ooh, shot from middle of the court onto Orange.
Ooh, Water.
Ooh, Water might
all
have
the way downfield, dude. Perfect setup to himself. See how that? He's calculated all the way the length of the entire field, bro. He hit it right here. He knew it was going to bounce off close enough to the post. Tager, or whoever that player was for SLP, doesn't quite have that reading on where the bounce off the wall is going to lead to. SLP finally do make that swap. They put Tager in for the player that was playing, but it might be too little too late. It might not actually matter. Blade hulking stepped out for Tager to sub back in. 2-0 lead instantly. Water back to where he left off in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's hard being beaten down like this, Skep. It's definitely diminishing in morale.
Yep.
But moving forward, Skep, what do you think that SLP can do moving when they go back and watch the VOD to see how they can improve on? What do you think?
They were just way too passive. Teams come out way too passive, dude. If there's a skill disparity, you cannot sit back and let people just take free aerial shots down on your goal on repeat. It's never going to lead to success. Turtling up and playing defense, like what? You have to score too. Let's not forget that. Especially if you're getting scored on. Turtling up only works if you score once or twice and then you have immaculate defense. But the problem with that is these guys weren't scoring. And they're turtling up. So they're just not giving themselves any actual opportunity there, Moonsum. Got to be more aggressive. I got to see more offense, man. I say it every time. You gotta fight fire with fire in this game, 100%. 50 balls.
But as we saw earlier in this game, if you just blindly rush the ball, that can lead to problems too, because you're opening yourself out to be outplayed by the other team.
True, but I'd rather see them going for opportunities than sitting back and kind of letting the Edina Hornets swarm them and then get repeat opportunity, you know?
Yep.
You can play it both ways, and I get it. I'm not playing right now, so it's easy for me to sit here and say and yap. But I mean, I've casted Rocket League for quite some time now, so I've got a good understanding of when teams are making correct decisions versus incorrect decisions. All good though. Edina, definitely the well-oiled machine in terms of both of these squads. The play shows SLP finally going to get one. 3 minutes of play on the clock. Let's not count them out. It's definitely looking dire though. They're in like a bleed out stage, like a last stand.
Yep.
They got to get a couple here to get things back to even. And then still get patched up.
Ooh, shot on goal almost right away. Edina trying to make it 5-1 now. As the score stands, it's currently 4-1 in favor of Edina. It looks like Shrosity is defending.
Ooh. Nice opportunity. SLP coming at it a little bit more guns blazing, but like you said, that wide open goal, and Water's going to walk it down Broad Street and tuck that one. 5-1 Edina. My goodness, lighting it up here in game number 3.
So, Skep, moving forward, and for everybody who's watching at home, what do you think the comms look like for both teams, and the difference in communication? Because like you said earlier, Edina appears to be a well-oiled machine. Tager shooting goal on Edina, bringing St. Louis Park back up to 2-5. While sure, it is still a bit of a hard win to bring back, it's still possible. We still got 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. Anything can happen.
There is a lot of time on the clock to work with for St. Louis Park, but the biggest point to make is like they're going to have to play very solid defense. They can't allow any more goals from the Edina side of things. It's already a 5-2 lead, right? So it's already getting a little out of hand. So we'll have to see what they're capable of. But right now, I mean, St. Louis Park is on an hourglass, and the hourglass is ticking away. 2 minutes and counting.
And like you were saying earlier, too, is all Edina has to do right now is play a really nice defense. That's the minimum that they have to do. Instead, however, they seem to be really trying to put the nail in the coffin once again, and trying to put St. Louis Park in their place. Unfortunately, that is a hard topic to swallow. But for state champions such as Edina,
I mean, they are just dominating. There's another one, though. Abe going to cut this lead to 2 now. So things getting a little interesting. 1:35 on the clock. 2 goals is manageable. But the second that this lead turns into 3, I might be losing faith. Edina trying to continue to apply that pressure. Water tries to swing it out front to his teammate. Not quite going to find that pass. Back up top now again. Shot is off the mark. Time ticking away here, Moonsum.
Yep. One thing I'm noticing about Edina is it appears that while Water is, in fact, doing a lot of the heavy lifting, it seems like there is quite the difference in skill between Water and the rest of his teammates. How do you think that St. Louis Park can or could have capitalized and done some things differently based on that?
I think we talked about it in game number 2. I think a lot of it was stemming back to that failing to contest before he takes off and he gets those aerial plays going, because once he's in the air, he's very shifty, very like controlled with his movements, and he's hard to stop, right? So kind of getting on him as quickly as you possibly can would be the best kind of like advice.
That's for Water, yeah. But how about for his teammates? His teammates seem to be playing a lot more passively than Water is. That being said,
it's because like if Water's going so aggressively, it's all about rotations at the end of the day. So they're just filling in the gaps where he's not, right? Like somebody's going to stay back, and then somebody's going to be like your midfield or close to ball supporter.
Just as an insurance policy.
You kind of like rotate in a triangle system in the threes format. Like usually, I mean, Water's taking a brunt load of the aggressive plays and going forward, right? So maybe a little bit more than average. But traditionally, all three players should be cycling in a rotation amongst themselves, like on who's going for the ball, who's going back to play goal, and who's kind of being the supporter, right? That's kind of your typical way of playing. Water's just so talented that they're giving him so many opportunities because he's also a setup guy. Like that. Brings it downfield, basically kicked it over to his teammate, and they put it in together. Pinch style. 7-3 victory. Edina close it out in a flawless 3-0 series. The best played game from the St. Louis Park squad comes in game number 3, but it is too little too late. It does not matter. Edina walk away with the clean sweep 3-0, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we just witnessed a bit of a beatdown, to be quite honest. Moonsum, do you have any closing thoughts from your end in terms of what we just witnessed in game number 1?
I feel like because Edina is such a high-ranking team, if St. Louis Park really wants to try it and get better, they would watch that VOD over again because they saw a lot of opportunities, and we saw a lot of opportunities where St. Louis Park could have done things differently to benefit themselves. At the end of the day, competitions like these are really beneficial for teams to review because it shows the team what they need to work on for next week and the next week after that. And moving forward, if St. Louis Park improves just a little bit, they can see a potential future at going to state.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, St. Louis Park definitely did not get the result that they were looking for today, but it is Edina walking away with a clean 3-0. They are defending champs for a reason, right? They're a solid squad, so don't take anything away. Don't take it too hard for the side of St. Louis Park, right? Go back, watch the VOD, see what you can improve on. Right, that's always the best way to look at it, and take your best foot forward. Folks, we are going to cut away to a quick break. When we come back, we have Chaska and Central on the cards, so don't go anywhere. Maybe find yourself a little snack, right? Hit that fridge, hit the cabinet, whatever you got. I don't actually care. Just make sure it's good, right? Good for you. The tasty snacks aren't actually the snacks that you need to be ripping, especially if you want to be locked in the gaming space. All right, guys, we'll be back after the break. Stay tuned.
Here at Concordia St. Paul, you will have the opportunity to earn a degree, make lifelong friendships, and play a game you love on an esports scholarship. For more information, visit csp.edu/esports.
Life isn't one size fits all, and college shouldn't be either. The University of North Dakota is consistently ranked the best value in the Midwest. That means whatever you decide to study, you know it'll be worth it. A better job, less debt, and ready for whatever comes next. Because there's one thing we all have in common. We lead our own way.
Coming in and actually seeing all the computers filled with kids, and they have on their jerseys and they got their coaches next to them, and I see direct parallels over to football.
There's just not a lot of knowledge about gamers out there. People just don't know what they don't know.
They have to develop teamwork like any other physical game does. You don't have the teamwork, you don't win.
You take a kid who never had confidence before and you give them confidence, and you can see what they can do with their lives.
golden moment. Moments of the round. Roar dashes into his own demise, and Apple Valley are going to do it. They're going to be the first team to win 4 state titles. Very close here. Very nice spot on going through that. And fair. Go straight in, go wide, but Flo able to get the rebound, and Egan has a 2-goal lead right. Then it's open and it is gone. They're still on some help. We'll go in, and there you go. The Pillagers will be your Mnvl 2023 Fall State champions.
Nice side B. Okay. Wait, yeah, just carry him. Put him on the pain train. Smash HP. He just yoinked that game.
Not quite able to get anything done with that. Drive possibly going for double tap off the backboard! And able to get a score off the top.
Both are very low. I think they're both 1 HP. Doesn't know where they're...
Oh! Snap! TMR for the clutch!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mnvl stream. I'm your host, Skeptor, and joining me on the broadcast, Moonsum. We just completed Game 1, which was a 3-0 stomp from the Edina side of things. Before we get into Game 2, I want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. That would be St. Cloud, University of Minnesota, Concordia St. Paul, Gustavus, University of North Dakota, Verbero, and Bethany Lutheran in Mankato. St. Cloud State University. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate that. You know, because that's what we're all about, making sure we get it right. Thank you, Nate. Again. Okay, dude. You know what I don't want to see? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't want to see a 3-0. Okay, Moonsum?
Yeah, it's a lot more interesting when the game is a lot closer. If we go back to a 3-0 and continue the 3-0 record that we've been seeing time and time again.
I mean, dude, yeah. So far this season, we've seen nothing but 3-0s. So, like, something's got to give, right? Something's got to give. It's either going to be a 3-0 for the rest of the season, like we're just going to run the distance, or hopefully, like, we can just snap this streak right here, right now, and Central and Chaska can deliver a banger series to us, and we can sit back and enjoy some Rocket League. I think we should be in good hands. Did you get a chance to check that record?
Not quite, but one thing I
Okay.
will say about the way that our bracket works is the early weeks and the first couple of games that teams play, you will see a lot more 3-0s because we're trying to figure out scoring for teams. That's why you get teams like Edina who are going up against teams that maybe aren't as high in skill level compared to them.
Right.
But hopefully Chaska and Central will be a lot more close.
Yeah, hoping for a close game. As we see it here, Chaska taking on Central. Chaska in blue, Central in the orange.
Going right back into it, DX is really trying to show off his skills with aerials, going right out of the gate. It was shut down by Expo, I believe.
Dangerous scoring opportunity there.
Ooh,
Off the post.
nearly.
Chaska coming out of the gates flying. Handful of scoring opportunities.
Yeah,
Back the other way,
score.
DX.
Ooh,
Nice save
barely
at the
saved
goal
out a
line.
goal.
Central putting up a good defense so far, but Chaska keeping that pressure, keeping that pace.
Yep, as we saw last game, if you just continue to let your opponent pressure you and don't do anything in retaliation, you are opening yourself up to a lot more opportunities to be scored. So moving forward, I feel like one of the biggest things that we want to see from both Chaska and Central is them putting pressure on each other. As I say that, Expo challenge scores, and that brings the score up to 1-0 in favor of Chaska.
That's a nice opening goal. Chaska were more than likely going to be the first team to score here based on the pressure alone that they have been mounting in that central zone. That ball has been stuck in the orange side of the field for quite some time. Let's see if Central can switch it up here and generate some offense themselves.
Cortlander sent the ball over against Chaska, but Chaska's returned the ball with haste. Ball is on central side of the court right now, and they're currently duking it over for control of, as of right now, the game.
Man. Back to play this one off the half wall. Ball back out front now. Good clear. Chaska trying to make something happen towards the middle of the field here. But it's kind of a muck. I mean, cars bumping into each other left and right. Nothing's truly pretty. It's a much more back and forth grudge matchy vibe that I'm getting so far here, Moonsum. We might be in good hands.
That's right. Nothing else. We've got a lot similar.
Nice save. That was almost an own goal from DX. Off the post. Not going to find the mark, but nope. What's going on? Am I trolling, or was nobody going to save that ball?
I think that,
Well, I guess he missed it, and
I
then
think
the
what
other
we
guy's
saw
just
there,
too far away.
Skep, was Central just found themselves out of place when
For sure.
they needed to be at goal. A lot of that can can come down to game sense and where they should have been. Another part of that would be them unfortunately missing some defense.
Yeah, a guy definitely overshot a jump on the rotation, and it ended up being the downfall there. Going back is another goal against now, as the score is elevated to 2-0.
Expo Streams almost brought goal from their side, or almost brought ball from their side of the court over to Orange, and ends up tipping it in as well, bringing the score up to 3-0 in favor of Cheska. Skep, we're currently about to hit the 2-minute mark. What's your feelings toward the game so far?
I mean, so far, it's Chaska are definitely leading the dance. Central has been doing a good job trying to match them, trying to apply pressure themselves. But right now, they just really need to find that icebreaker. They got to get the scoring opening for themselves just to see one kind of go in to the goal. Right, it really ups the confidence, ups the morale. So hoping to see Central get something going here before this game one meets its end.
As you say that, DX1.
Oh, nice save.
An aerial, just about went into the goal, if not for the defense of who was that?
I'm not actually fully sure. I mean, Central's defense has been pretty stellar, right? They have given up 3 goals against, mainly out of mistakes, right? Usually when they have players home at the goal, they've been making stops.
As we saw just then, we had all 3 of Central on goal, ready to defend the ball from hitting its mark. But like we've been saying, in order for Central to take control of games, they need to put pressure back on Chaska.
Absolutely, man. I've been asking for pressure, especially when you're in a state of the game like this, like you're down, right? Multiple goals at that. With just a minute remaining, you have to generate offense, and there's no time to waste. It's got to be now, or you can kiss the game goodbye.
Yeah, that's a hard part about Rocket League, is once you get into
There it is. Opportunity.
Good aerial by
little high on
Courtlander
the
doesn't
shot.
quite hit its mark. Going up, Courtlander tries for another aerial, misses the ball, and the ball is currently in a precarious position.
Dangerous zone. And that one's going to find the back of the net. 4-0 lead now here, Moonsum. Chaska are turning up the heat in game number 1.
That's right, Skep. And with 22 seconds to go of this game, it's going to be really hard, if not impossible, for Central to make a comeback. That being said, though, we've still got at least 2 more games to play before the winner of this match is declared. So anything can still happen. I'm trying to be optimistic because, once again, I would like to see some close competition as well, just like you, Skep. But it seems that Chaska is really trying to put pressure on Central after hitting the 5th goal this game, bringing the score up to 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, Chaska are just unrelenting. 5-0 lead is merciless. Demo off the rip, and another freebie, double poster, DX there to put it away and clean up. 6-0, man. What a game 1 from Chaska.
I was going to say earlier, Skep, that this should be a lot closer of a game, but it seems like coming out of the first game from Chaska and Central that the scores are looking pretty similar to the first game we looked at with Edina and SPJ?
SLP.
SLP, sorry.
You're good, bro. It seems like... So, like... I mean, okay, there wasn't as many shots for Central, right? Like, that's the big underlying stat that I'm going to look at every single time. Their defense was good. I mean, they had 7 saves, right? That's a lot of saves. But at the end of the day, on the back of 1 shot, you're just not going to be able to win these games, man. Like,
right. One player alone on Chaska's team had 11 shots, which is...
Yeah, that's... I mean, you hate to see that if you're a Central fan. That's all you got to say for game 1. But
you hate to see it, but it sets
the best opportunity. Yep, the best opportunity about Rocket League, dude, is you get to completely wipe it away and start fresh in the next game. Wipe it away. Doesn't matter. Goldfish memory, my friend. 10 seconds in and out the other ear, right? Like, we don't have time to play around. We got a best of 5 to win. Yeah, we're down a game, so what? DX just put up 11 shots, right? Like, come on. Illegal. And then his teammates combined for 10. 21 shots to 1? I'm going to panic over here. Like, that's just numbers that you cannot repeat again. All right, Central? I said it was going to be closer, too. My golly. What are we witnessing here? I'm losing it, bro. I thought it was close. All right, new game. Like I just said, new game for myself as well. I can mentally reset. And it doesn't even matter. 4 seconds. And Chaska put us right back into the meat grinder.
Yeah, that's one of the one of the less looked upon parts of competitive play is just the mentality, the morality. Once you get smoked that badly, and once you get put in this position.
Oh my goodness! Oh no!
Yeah. It gets a lot harder to play as well as you were when you first started because you know that you've got to make a comeback, and you know that you're a little bit outmatched as far as game sense and skill goes.
Dude,
that being said, though,
the other point, you're making good points. I'm not trying to cut you off, but I was going to note this. It feels like Chaska are just getting like every bounce too, right? Like they're getting the lucky rolls on top of it. Their shots aren't going over the top off like a bounce shot or something like that, right? Like that shot on that second goal. I mean, just straight up, right bar down. I mean, it's pretty precise shooting. There's obviously a little bit of luck involved, but Chaska having that lucky favor right now.
Yeah,
we need to see more offense from Central, though, dude.
That being said, and I agree with you, we are starting to see a little bit more. Central looks like they're getting their act together here, as Courtlander makes one shot from mid, bringing this total score to a 2-1 lead by Chaska. With 4 minutes left of this
game. Not bad. A lot of time on the clock still, right? We're still over 4 minutes left of play.
And that's one of the things about scoring early, is you can make two shots and 2 goals within the first 8 seconds like we saw by Chaska. But because you have so much more time left in the game and left in the clock, there's so much more opportunity for Central and the other team to tie up the game and even pull a lead out of it.
I mean, the thing is like, Central need to keep up the offense, right? They can't stop there. They cannot be satisfied with what that offered. There's another one. Expo Stream's going to make it a 3-1 lead now. Boosting them back up by a 2-goal margin.
After watching some of the goals and some of the gameplay so far, what I'm noticing is a lot of these defense plays, they're only missing by a little bit. So part of that could be contributed to the way the ball bounces, to the way that the players direct themselves, but at the end of the day, all of these players seem to be doing what seems to be the right play for the right time. It just isn't quite coming out the way they want to. As I say that, DX1 score, is that DX1 or DX exclamation?
I think it might be DX exclamation point.
Okay. DX, no, got it. Good thing I caught that, because if I went all 3 games calling him DX1, that would have been a little bit embarrassing. But going back to the game, we're up to 4-1 in favor of Chaska. Once again, we are seeing a little bit of a pull ahead here, but there was still 3 minutes left on the timer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time to work with, right? But it's like, how are Central going to use it? They need to start generating offense ASAP. I mean, I'm a broken record. I don't want to keep saying the same thing, but it's like we're just not seeing enough, you know?
Right.
Or at least scoring chances or something of that magnitude.
Ball is teetering right around goal. Doesn't quite hit a position where Central is able to capitalize on it. Chaska brings ball back around to central side of the goal, central side's central side of the central side of the field, which is then returned by Courtlander, leading to another shot in favor of Central, bringing the score up to 4-2, meaning that
not bad.
It's still possible. 2.5 minutes left of the game.
Second goal of the game for Courtlander. So far, leading scorer for that side of Central. We'll see if he can lead his team to a victory here. Just over 2 minutes of play here in game number 2. Chaska, though, don't want to give up more than they should. They've had this game under control for a majority of it so far, and they want to continue to show that. And Chowan gonna pull through and make it a 5-2 lead now, Moonsum.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of different plays that are happening, but one other thing I'm noticing is it feels like Chaska keeps winning tip-off. They keep forcing the ball into Central side of the game, and because of that,
dude, they got that flip reset off the rip. They spin and jump into the car. They get there faster. The other guys are just driving straight on the ground. Look at this kickoff. Look at this kickoff here, and you'll see. Every time it's a Chaska player, you see their car doing like a barrel roll swirl through the air, and they're gaining speed. They're faster than the cars on the Central side because they don't know the tech. All right, that time they just went straight forward at each other, so that one doesn't count. But I have seen it, so that's the point. You make a good point, and I'm just trying to notify you that it is valid.
All right. Chowan.
Ooh, nice pinch.
Chowan hits a good pinch, gives the ball back to position of his teammate, to which it's returned, and Chowan tries making another shot on goal. Central is really fighting to stay in the game here, but with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, it's becoming a lot harder to realistically hope for.
It's a 2-on-3? All right, he just got back in, I think. We tapped scoreboard for a second, or maybe he's still gone. All good. You know, yeah, it's it wasn't looking the prettiest here in game number 2.
Yeah, you're right, Skip. That being said, Central did make a much bigger effort to return some offense back to Chaska. And while it didn't quite work out from this game, if they really, really get their act together and get their butts into gear, they can easily try and go bring it back to a 2-1 game.
All right, the player is back in the server. We should be back to a 3-on-3 state. Not that it really was going to have an effect on this one. Chaska were well in control before this one was kind of affected by the state of the DC. So I'm not going to put too much stock into that. I mean, there's another one, 9-2. All right, it's a bloodbath. I don't know what to tell you.
Yep, with 51 seconds left, we are coming into the end of this game number 2. Chaska is leading 9-2. They really pulled ahead at the second half of this game. Central fighting to stay in the game, but it doesn't look like it's really working out for them.
Yeah, I mean, this one seems like the ball has rolled out of Central Court, and it is now 10-2. And the onslaught don't stop. I mean, dude, I don't know. 36 seconds left in this one. Chaska have closed this case for game number 2 in dominant fashion.
Unfortunately, Skep, I might have to go and say this difference in points alone might end up setting the pace for game number 3.
Oh, agreed. I think the Central players are not having a good time. It's not funny. I'm not trying to laugh at them.
No,
but
it's
just the actuality of it.
Yeah,
I probably could not be more precise. And there's another one for Courtlander getting a hat trick, and Chris Paul cuts the lead to 47. All right, my bad. I had to hit that one time. Twitch chat. Come on now.
Don't forget, we're on YouTube. Don't forget, Skip, we're over on YouTube now, too.
We just don't have a chat in YouTube, so I'm not actually talking to anybody.
Is that something we're going to work on?
I
getting
am
lined
unsure
up for...
at this current state. Most likely not.
Interesting.
But something that we need to focus in on and lock in on right now is Central. What do we got to do to keep them out of our goal so early, man? We gotta come up with something.
One of the biggest things, like we touched upon before, is we need to start winning tip-off, because the tip-off alone is setting the pace for that round of the game.
Kickoff is big.
Oh, I've been calling it tip-off, kickoff. They're
You're
both
good.
sports terms.
They sure are. You're almost there. We're
Almost
helping you
there.
out. Don't you worry.
I don't know. But
you're
yeah,
good, bro.
the pace of the game is, like I said, being set by kickoff. So if Central can win the initial kickoff, then there's a much better chance for them to put pressure on Chaska and
Gaining
score.
possession right away is big.
Right.
Like, being on the back foot right away, you're usually behind on boost as well because they're stealing yours as they push into your zone. It's not a fun time. So kind of being on that back pedal is what we have seen from the Central squad. We got to see something different. We got to see something new. Otherwise, we are going to be looking at another 3-0 series, dude. And I don't know. I mean, history and recency is telling me that we are going to be looking at a 3-0. But I am so on board for Central to make the craziness happen and come out and win this thing, man. At least get a game.
As you're saying that mid and kickoff is conflicted, unfortunately fortunately for Chaska, they end up getting possession of the ball and bringing it over to central side of the court. Up in the air by DX and just barely blocked by Central. K is going for a potential retaliation move, blocked by, I believe that was Streams. Chowan going in for a shot, nearly misses it off the post, and Courtlander is back in possession of the ball.
Yeah, I think we're seeing good back and forth here, but that's going to lead to the opener. DX going to start it out with one favoring the Chaska side of things. I mean, nice finish on that. Nobody back in time. Maybe a demo was in play right before that. Not 100% certain.
Yeah, that's the hard part about demos in Rocket League, is they open up so much opportunity to capitalize on.
Absolutely.
We haven't really talked about it a whole lot, but Skep, how important to the game do you think demos are?
Oh, dude, demos, I mean, completely open up and set up plays all the time, right? At the highest level, and if used at the correct timing, they can be the difference maker.
Do you think that it's worth to some teams to focus on demos rather than going after ball directly?
I think that it's more of a situational kind of play, going for that demolition, right? 2-0 now. Chaska adding to their tally, extending the lead. And things getting difficult already. You're already down 2-0, right? You're already feeling the pressure of the series mounting. And now it's a 2-0 goal lead to start out game number 3. Chaska in the driver's seat and playing it nicely.
DX goes for a shot on goal. Hits it a little high though. Return to Streams, who gets blocked by Central. DX back in possession of the ball, centers the ball, and scores upon it, leading the score up to 3-0 in favor of Chaska.
Good ball off the back wall. Good finish as well. Chaska well in control. 3-0 start here. And I mean, making that push for a clean sweep of this one.
Like we talked about earlier, Skip, I'm noticing time and time again, the two outcomes of kickoff is it either gets knocked to center of the court, or Chaska ends up getting possession of the ball and bringing it over to Central's goal. Going back to the game, however, Chowan looking to make a potential play here. Going up for an aerial potentially. Blocked and missed the ball. Ball is still near Central's goal. EX going for potential aerial. Centers the ball, and Central is scrambling to make sure that this doesn't turn into something worse.
Dangerous ball up top. I mean, Central right now on that back pedal, right? We've talked about it time and time again. Chaska's offense has been unrelenting. They have given nothing. They continue to take.
Going back to the discussion about demos we saw earlier, in comparison to the first game we viewed versus Edina, we noticed there was quite a bit difference in goals being shot by Edina, as they had mostly one team member shooting all their shots. In regards of demos, I feel like in this situation, demos wouldn't be nearly as effective as it would against Edina, because as we see, and as we saw in the past couple of games with the stats, all of the team members on Chaska are doing equal parts to try to make sure that they keep the lead in the game.
Yeah, Chaska has been on a mission course for a 3-0 victory, my friend, and they continue to show that on the server, on the pitch. So with a minute 40 left of play, I'm really failing to see a way that Central's going to battle their way back into this one. It's seeming as Chaska has it locked in, and it's all just, finishing touches at this point.
Yeah, Skep. One thing I do, as we say this, Cortlander goes in and makes a surprise shot, bringing Central back up to 1. I don't know if it's going to be enough to make a comeback off of, but it could give them momentum to try to come back from this. Like we saw earlier,
a little bit of time, but a minute 15, I don't know. It's going to be very tight. They'd have to find goals in very rapid succession. And the odds of that happening don't seem too likely, but we'll see.
Yeah, that may be true, Skip, but as we saw by Chaska, it's very possible to make 2 goals within 8 seconds of each other.
Very
so
true.
Anything can still happen. As we hit the 1 minute mark, Chaska hits another ball toward goal, narrowly blocked by one of Central's players.
Good opportunity as it crosses through midfield. Nobody there to really crack at that one on the Chaska side. Now an opportunity off the post shot in. Streams is going to put that one away. And now with the lead at 5-1 and only 41 on the clock, it's looking doomed.
That being said, Skep, it's still a fun game to watch because, like I said with the past game, learning from
it's been fun,
all these different, learning from all of these different mistakes that players make really is what sets the players from maintaining a stagnant game sense and skill level to them becoming much better players. And part of that is just game sense alone and game experience and time that you've invested in the game. But the other part about it is teamwork. We need to look, as we saw last goal, we had 2 people on Central's side constantly chasing after the ball where they might have been better off trying to defend against it. As I say this, Expo Stream goes in for another shot on goal, hits it, and hits its mark, leading Chaska up to 7-1. 17 seconds on the clock, and this game is just about wrapped up.
Yeah, I mean, 7-1 again here. All a good effort. Appreciate both squads for coming out and playing on stream, but in the end, it's going to be Chaska walking away in a 3-0 fashion. Sorry, Twitch chat. I tried to will it into existence. I tried my hardest. But in the end, it matters not. Chaska walk away with that 3-0 victory, and we conclude our second Rocket League stream with back-to-back 3-0s, my dude. It's not looking like it so far. back-to-back 3-0s to open up the season. I mean, we've been here before, so like I'm not too worried. I'd say this isn't like a new thing, like we've seen this before. But man, we got to see some more fight.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Skip. In order to really create close games, you gotta close those gaps between shots made. As we saw with the stats, there were, I believe, 3 shots made by Central that game versus Chaska's, I believe, over 20.
Yeah, I mean, Chaska's offense was just nonstop, dude, the whole time.
One game I
Like-
would be interested in seeing next week is Chaska versus Edina, because both teams were very offensive. And I feel like both teams would be really fun to watch when they go up against each other. Hopefully, it'll be a closer game if we ever get that.
Yeah, that's
to
not a
what
bad
we had
thought.
this.
We'll have to see. I mean, with the Swiss route, usually things even out towards the latter half of our season. So we'll keep our eyes checked on that. I don't believe we're doing an interview tonight, folks. I think we're just going to be signing off and closing the stream here. So I'm going to go ahead and close us out. I think it was a fun week, right? Week 2 in the bag already. I mean, dude, the season starts going by so fast once it starts. Like, we say this literally every time, but you can't make it up. I mean, just wait. This is your first cast. We're going to be talking about week 6 before you know it. All right?
That'll be fun.
I thought you did a great job, Moonsum.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I kind of found a rhythm to the casting job and kind of fell into that. It was fun.
That's good.
I noticed
That's
toward
good.
the end of the second game we watched, it was a lot more prominent. My
Let's go.
speaking abilities.
All right, dude. Well, without further ado, we are going to close out the show right here, right now, folks. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to the Mnvl Fenwork streams. We are going to be back in action on Monday with Smash. But for now, this is us signing off. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Thursday. And enjoy the weekend, man. It's getting cold. Stay warm. Peace out, guys.
Yep, see ya.